Wednesday, everyone. Here at the Bandsaw today, cutting parts out for a new pair of spurs, and again, take the opportunity of doing what I'm doing to share with you guys. Bandsaw is very important. It's the beginning of the process after the drawing gets done. So I'm gonna show you guys my setup and see how this works, and maybe it'll help you guys. So I got an old bandsaw here, and I've had several questions. What do I have? I got a metal wood cutting Walker Turner Division Rockwell Manufacturing Company variable speed saw. Older than me, but it's a good machine. It's an old machine. Got a big throat. This part from the blade to right here is 20 inches. That determines the size of the bandsaws that you see on the market. I got a 1/4 inch blade here. Let me raise this up so you can see it. It's a 1/4 inch blade, bimetal, varied tooth, 14 to 18. So when you go to buy saw blades, that's what you're looking for. Bimetal, variable tooth, 14 to 18 teeth per inch is what that means. That means it'll cut thin material. You can see this right here is my hinge material. It's 14 gauge. If you have a great big tooth, it's not going to cut that very good. A bigger tooth, this is 1/2 inch. This is my shank. Bigger, coarser tooth will cut that fine, but I'm not into changing blades all the time. So 14, 18. Here's the rowels that I got going. When you look at my shank here, as I zoom in, right here is going to be Chihuahuas. I got a hole here. So I can't cut through my material to cut this hole out. So what I do is I drill a 1/4 inch hole that I run my blade through. How do I do that? Well, over here you find a blade welder. These are $300, $400, $500. Bought this on MSC or Inco. What this allows me to do is I can cut my blade, this part right here, that shears my blade in two, run my blade, one end of my blade here, clamp it down like this, and then from the other side, I run my metal through the bandsaw, the blade through the hole of the material, and then clamp it in here. I weld it, and then down here at the bottom it has a little grinder that I use. All the instructions for doing it are right here. If you get your blade welder, read them. Works a lot better if you do what they say. Then I come back over here to the bandsaw. I'll cut this hole out and then go back over to the blade welder, shear the blade, weld it back together through the other hole, and repeat the process and the way it goes. This gives me the opportunity to do lots of cool stuff with my saw. Away we go. The question of bandsaw or water jet, all that comes up. We may get off into the topic of, oh my gosh, you use a water jet and you're cheating. No such thing, guys. A bandsaw, the difference between a bandsaw and a water jet is $97,000, $147,000. Depends on how much water jet you want to have. This bandsaw here is about $3,000 brand new, up to $10,000, but you can get by $1,500, $3,000 for a good bandsaw. You'll see this part right here. It's a water jet piece. All my bands are exactly the same. So why charge my customer time, me sitting here cutting it out, when this right here is $50? These two things cost me $50. If I was to do it, cut it all out on a saw, buy the material, the whole business, you're looking at $120 to $150. So makes sense for me to use a bandsaw on certain things because I'm only going to use one of them. If I have a whole bunch of parts, like spurs, it's always the same. It deviates very rarely. Why not use a water jet? Matt Humphrey's Outlaw Water Jet has a great deal. They're everywhere. Find the one that works for you. Find somebody that can run a water jet as good as you can run a bandsaw. You're only as good as the parts that you have. Hope this helps. Thank y'all for watching. Adios.